Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic, and for today what I do have in here is Psychonauts 2, a game developed by Double Fine Productions, and it is using Unreal Engine 4. So my objective today is to check out this game on an Nvidia MX130 with 2GB GDDR5, which should be equivalent to a GT940 MX, also with 2GB GDDR5. And so my recommended settings for this game it is to play with 900p and median settings using 70% of resolution scaling, or 720p using median settings with 70% of resolution scaling. I will talk a little bit about that. Let's check out the results. So if you care about an experience above 60, you need to go with 720p with 50% of resolution scaling using very low settings. Above 50, you can go with low settings with 65% of resolution scaling. Median settings, it is a sweet spot for me, and I got an average of 67 with a minimum of 43. But if you go with the high settings and 85% of resolution scaling, the average it is good, but you started to notice drops below 30. So 900p using median settings with 70% of resolution scaling provides an experience overall above 30 frames per second. So all these tests were conducted exactly at the beginning of the game. As soon as you finish the first cutscene and you enter into the gameplay mode following the battle, until you encounter the cutscene of the fairy tooth. After the cutscene is finished, I stop registering the frame rate. So what I did notice so far is that despite despite the 900p with 70% of resolution scaling median settings, which is what I'm using in here for this video, despite this is my recommended settings for staying above 30 frames per second, the reality it is that during the cutscenes there are some moments, very specific moments, but yeah, there are a lot of moments, alright? There are a lot of moments where during the cutscenes you can expect the frame rate to go below the 30 frames per second. If for those moments, if you think that it is important to stay above 30, instead of using 900p with 70% of resolution scaling and median settings, you can go with 720p instead with 70% of resolution scaling and using median settings. By using 720p, it will provide you a much more stable experience and higher frame rate. Alright? I'm not saying that 900p will have a gameplay always above 30. I am not sure about that. I just tested a little bit at the beginning. I'm not really sure how the game performs in later levels, if it is more demanding or not. But if you start with 900p and during some gameplay moments you find some stress points where the frame rate is not enough for you, again you can go back to 720p using 70% of resolution scaling and dropping to median settings. Alright, so why did I use resolution scaling in all these settings? This is the presets of the game. So the low settings just use 50, the median settings just use 65, the high settings use 70, and the very high uses the 100%, which is native. I don't like to use resolution scaling in games, especially when you are playing at 720p. But one thing that I've noticed in this game is that it is using one of the latest versions of Unreal Engine 4, and these latest versions contains a very good TAA and a very good upscaler. Alright, so it's called TAAU, and it's very good. It is no DLSS, alright, but at some points it is very close to being DLSS in terms of quality, alright. Sometimes it is even much better than AMD FSR, so that's why I just play along with this resolution scaling being recommended in the presets, because I really do think that TAA upscaling does a great job. But in reality, despite I did test the very low with 50% or the low with 65%, there are no miracles. Using this amount of resolution scaling at 720p just causes the image to be very blurred. That's why I do think that whatever 900p or 720p using 70% of resolution scaling and median settings, it is a sweet spot between having super blurred environments and frame rate. All right, in specifically in these graphic cards. All right, so I think that's all that I want to talk about the performance. It is great, it performs great. All right, so it feels actually great, despite I'm not getting 60 frames per second, which is something that I would recommend for the platform. I do think that it is still more than enough for being super playable, and yet the cutscenes and every stuff just looks really good. I'm not feeling that if you are playing with these settings, I feel that you are not missing out from a supercomputer or a console. Alright, that's the point. Now let's talk a little bit about the game, shall we? I don't have too much to talk about it, but let's talk a little bit. So despite I have the first game, I actually never played or cared about it. It never really got my attention, you know. I played a little bit and it was meh. But most of the majority of the people that play the game really said that the game was awesome and that I was missing out a lot. I don't doubt it. I think that Psychonauts probably is a huge and excellent game, but it happens that I've never played it at all, aside from a little bit of the first mission. Alright, so Psychonauts 2, it is a new game. It still retains a lot of the platforming from the original game, according to many reviewers. It is a little bit more modern in some stuff, alright, but overall, the core experience of the game, it is mostly the same as the old ones, and that it is great, because nowadays I think games always want to be different and being kind of live services and stuff like that, so it's hard to find games that resembles a lot of the classics. Classics are awesome in my opinion. Possibly I'm getting old, I don't know, but I think the classic single player games are usually awesome. And Psychonauts, it is an awesome classic game, but in 2021. Alright, and that's a big thing. According to reviewers out there, I mean on Metacritic the game pretty much scored 90. So it's being very well received by the critics. IGN, for example, gave it 80, but the majority of the reviews have been very positive regarding this game. I'm not going to really specify it or anything because I barely play the game, but so far I did enjoy it. There is really some nice animations in here, nice cutscenes, everything seems very good, despite the graphics are not really top notch. The game, it is super fun. Honestly, it is super fun regarding gameplay, regarding cutscenes. It's so well done. I haven't really played that much, but just by the cutscenes, it is a well time spent inside the game. So there's that. If you want to, you know, investigate a little bit about the game, just check your typical reviewers that you follow, because they pretty sure have a better opinion than me that I barely play the game. So I'm just talking about stuff that I've read online, and everything seems excellent about the game. Now, the bad thing and the good thing about this game, it is its price. So it can be both. If you want to buy the game, alright, it is super expensive. So you will pay the full price for the game. It is pretty much $59.99 on Steam. So it's super expensive in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that the game, it is worth it, but still it is super expensive nonetheless. But the good thing is that if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, it is available there, and that's why I decided to use the Xbox Game Pass version, because it is the cheapest and quickest way to have the game than spending 60 bucks on the game. So I just spent like 10 euros or 10 bucks on the Xbox Game Pass, and with this subscription I'm able to play tons of games and also enjoy Psychonauts 2 and also bring you the results of the benchmark. Alright, so I think that's all, guys. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I'm sure I can do this in the dark.
Coach, this room is definitely not in Sasha's plan. In fact, I think it's a trap.
No. That's just a sensor. Everybody has those. They live in your mind and stamp out things that don't belong.
Like us?
You handle this one. I'll find a way out.
No.
Hey, if you're done goofing off down there, I found a way out of here. You just have to do your thing with the dental door here. Ugh. Yeah, I can't even look at it. Hey, see what you can find that way. See you on the other side.
Looks like some sort of conference room in here.
Rasputin, is that you? I need...
I'm coming, Sasha. Yep.
Rasputin,
Aha.
careful. It's
Here's the hatbox tag.
a trap. It's a trap. Lovato has... Thank you, Rasputin. Please, let's get clear of this.
Sasha, how is Lovato breaking through the office construct?
He couldn't be doing this on his own. He must be getting help from someone even more... sinister. Get ready, Rasputin.
Sasha!
I've got the situation under control. Just find us a way out of here, quickly.
Yeah, don't bother with them little mooks. You want to go for the gold. You gotta grab the big boys. Help me carry this one, will you, Frankie? They got me too, Frankie. The mooks.
Did you even brush before you came in here today? Honestly, it's a mess in there. Here, rinse and spit. Get out everything that doesn't belong.
Oh no, not back in the trap.
Trap?
Coach? Coach, where'd he go?
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
What is it?
That is a regret. If Lovato has regrets, then maybe there's a way we can still get to him. Let's get out of here and find Lovato.
Sasha? Are regrets dangerous?
Oh, yes, extremely. Take care of that one, will you, while I find an exit. Good job, Rasputin. Unfortunately, I can't find a way out of here anywhere.
Sasha? How long has that golden door been there?
Golden what?
Did somebody say gold? Frankie, here's our chance for revenge.
Oh, not these guys.
I'll keep looking.
Watch out! They're shooting at us! Frankie! Frankie? Oh no! Not again! I'm coming to see you, Ma!
Rasputin, you see what you can find through that door. I'm going to stay here and attempt to repair my construct.